Hey, and thanks for clicking on Hey, MelissaCrochets. I appreciate your click. Because I'm a sucker for punishment, I am going to do 1 month of Amigurumi. If you watched my video last week on February 9th, you would have learned that I lost my job recently, and it sucks. There was a corporate restructure at my workplace, and my position was one of the ones that was eliminated. I can't dwell on it because not much I can do about it. I got a severance package from them, so I have a few weeks off to sit in my butt and crochet. So I figured I would move up this month-long Amigurumi project because I was going to do it in April, but I figured, you know what, while I have time off, I'm going to do the bigger / smaller for Amigurumi things. So February is going to be Amigurumi month. I'm also doing a pattern test for someone that'll take a bit of my time, so it's nice to, go from plushies to the other thing. It's not a plushie, it's a blanket. So that'll be nice to do. A lot of the plushies that I'm going to make would be made with Bernat blanket yarn, of course, because I have a lot of it. If you don't know how much I have, go to my 2025 stash tour and yarn inventory, then you'll see how much I have. It's a lot. So be sure to watch that video, please. That'd be great. So most will be made out of that, but then Dollar Tree here in Canada also has Premier Just Chenille in the 50-gram skeins. So I picked up a few colors of that while we were in the city. So this is hibiscus, teal, rain, aqua, and iris. So I have these colors, got multiples of each, because I know that when you make plushies with Bernat blanket, they turn out a lot bigger. Yeah. And then from a recent yarn haul I got Facebook Marketplace, I have these two, and these are Dollarama yarns. Dollarama is a dollar store here in Canada, so I have like a teddy bear brown, as I've been calling it, and then like a chocolate brown. Looks black on camera, but it's like a really dark brown. So I have those two, and then the Just Premier, and then all this blanket yarn to use. I'm not a complete newbie to Amigurumi, I just don't like making it. I have made 4 things in my life, Amigurumi wise, and I will put their pictures here. So 3 of them were from my nephew. Well, nephews, I have a lot of nephews. So it was a dinosaur, a teddy bear, a blue cow, and then somebody at my former workplace requested I make them a Mabel chicken, so that was her. They all turned out great. I don't know if I have a picture of the teddy bear, so you're probably thinking, like, where's the teddy bear, Melissa? I made it, I promise. I don't know if I have a picture of it. So if I do, it's there. If I don't, I don't. So you're probably thinking, hey Melissa, what are you gonna do with all those plushies when you're finished making them, because you don't really sell these? So my plan is either to put them on my Etsy shop or attend like a 1-day small market locally, and hopefully sell a whole bunch of them, if not all of them. And then whatever I have left over, I'll put on Facebook Marketplace or again on my Etsy shop, or I'll give them away as gifts. I don't know yet. I planned that far ahead, but because I have this time off, I bumped this up to February, because I was going to do it in April when I was, still had my job and stuff and whatever. So I moved it up to February, and then I plan on doing like a market like that maybe in like May or June. That's when more people like get out to the outdoor markets here where I live. Like it's the dead of winter right now, and nobody's spending time outside because it's storming out with snow, as always. It's been a long winter here in Ontario, Canada. It's been a lot this year. Since I don't have a lot of experience with Amigurumi, I reached out to a really kind woman that I had met at the Spin Right Yarn Factory Outlet tent sale last August. She was there selling safety eyes. So I messaged her, assuming that she was like local-ish to us, and I had said, hey, I'm planning this for my YouTube in April. What sizes would you suggest for Amigurumi? Like, what are the most popular? I seen you have mystery boxes on your website. So I ended up purchasing a mystery box from her. So there's a lot in there, all different sizes, which is what I had wanted because I don't know these things. So I got that, and then I told her about my YouTube and what I was planning on doing, and she was like, oh, in that case, let me donate some to you. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that, please. I said, I'll pay at least half of like whatever you're willing to donate. Like, let me at least pay. And she was persistent. She said, no, please don't. I think I ended up sending her an extra $10 via e-transfer or something like that. So here is her business card. I will also put it on the screen here. But yeah, she's a really nice woman, and then she also had installation tips. And I'm glad she put these on here because like definitely like boiling the back of the safety eyes really helped on one that I have already finished. It took me 25 minutes of trying, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pull out the instructions like a good girl and actually look at the instructions and some tips and stuff. So boiling it definitely helped. So that was great. So what she ended up giving me, which was just so sweet of her, and I can't thank her enough, so thank you, Rebecca. She donated one of her advent calendars to me. So my aunt picked this up for me, I think late December, early January, and Rebecca had said like, oh, I'm happy to donate one. And I said, no, please let me pay. But just so sweet of her to do. So she has a whole bunch of different sizes in here, and they were all labeled, which was really nice. I appreciated that because I don't know the sizes of these things. Like, I know a lot of Amigurumi plushie makers can like eyeball it and say like, oh, that's a 16, but I wouldn't know those things. So this here is an 18mm champagne glitter round pupil. She also has some with like the slit pupils for like cats or snakes or possums maybe, I don't know. But you know, that's been really fun to like look through, and a lot of them of course I haven't opened yet. And like she has the colors here. Like this one knows 25mm Tannenbaum Twinkle Crescent pupil, but like I haven't opened it to look at them yet. So it's been a bit of a gamble, I think, like guessing like the sizes of like what I would need. I've kind of just been eyeballing it, as I said, and figuring it out from there. So with this month-long-ish project, I have a schedule, I think, for 3 weeks of this. So this is week 1, and then we'll do 2 more weeks of it. I might do more, I don't know yet. We'll see. So if you watch my 31 skeins in 31 days in December, you've seen that I had Larry pick a little piece of paper that had a piece of, or like a picture of a skein of yarn on it, because I was working through my worsted weight yarn at that time. And then he also picked like a little project that I had typed out on a piece of paper like this. So it was a charity beanie, charity cowl, mittens, a drawstring bag. I don't remember all of them because that was 2 months ago now, and I had terrible memory. So he's gonna assist with this again. So what I have done, I went through YouTube and I made a little private playlist for myself of Amigurumi patterns that I'd like to try. And then like I of course left like the designer on there. So like this one is an easy crochet heart from All From Jade, or done by All From Jade. So when Larry picks one of these, I show it to the camera and say like, oh, this is what we're making today. And then from there, what I do, so for example, yeah, this pink hearts or whatever, I would pull down whatever color I think would be really cute in a heart. I'm doing that because like, say I make a loaf cat, I don't want the loaf cat to be like aqua blue or like pink. So that's why I'm doing that. And I've been laying out 5 to 10 yarns in front of him and asking him to pick one. And then that's the color we end up making that plushie out of. So it's been fun. I think I've already completed 4 of them. And then I'm filming this intro because I filmed it first and then I wasn't happy with how it turned out. So here we are again. But that's okay. It's just the way it happens sometimes. So thank you so much for clicking on my video. Let's get into the first plushie. I'm going to give my honest opinions on all of these as basically a beginner of Amigurumi. And yeah, I'm a bit unfiltered. I'll give it to you honestly and stuff, like as a beginner. So I think this will be helpful if you're trying to get into Amigurumi as well. I'll say pros and cons of what I like and what I don't like. As I said, I've already made 4. So like plushies, like previously, and then I made 4 for the series already this month. And then you'll get to hear what I liked about the pattern, what I didn't like about the pattern, what I think could be changed. Okay, I am going to stick with a loaf cat for my very first pattern to do. And the tutorial is by False Bubbles here on YouTube. And this is the yarn that I will be using for the loaf cat. Okay, so it's about 3 hours later, and I finished my loaf cat. It's pretty cute. I never made the loaf cat pattern before. As I said in my intro, I listed all the Amigurumis I've ever made, so never loaf cat, but you know, I've seen them on the internet and when I watch YouTube and stuff, and I was like, okay, I gotta make one of those, you're so cute. So I did modify it just a tiny bit. The only thing I really did modify was the tail. I surface crocheted a little circle and then built it up from there. I didn't want to do a separate piece and I'll have to sew it on because I've sewn on things before and they just get wonky. So I decided to do that. I like the way the stripes turned out. It was pretty cute. His little feet are so funny. Oh, I guess something else I did modify is the bobble stitch in the first, like his front legs, because you start at the nose and you work your way down in the round. The bobble stitch only called for 4 stitches, I guess, to make the bobble. And like, I didn't think they were big enough. So in the back legs, I did 5 stitches instead of 4. So in other words, I pulled through 5 loops in the end, and then instead of the 4, because I don't think the 4 was big enough. But either way, it's still so cute. Yeah, it's cute. I didn't put like the butthole X on it. I know a lot of people do, and it's so funny to me that this turned out to be the butt, like this color. I don't think I will add like the butthole X on it just because the pink is there already. It's pretty funny. Just the way it worked out. I thought about cutting off this yarn and then like reattaching a different color, but I was like, nah, it's funny. So there you have it. There's my first amigurumi for the February Amigurumi challenge. I don't even know what I'm gonna call the series yet, to be honest with you. So I'm just gonna, you know, film the first few clips and then we'll figure it out from there. But it's nice to have one thing done. Oh, I did use some of Chateau Bornay's safety eyes, Rebecca's safety eyes. And they are 16mm and they are like a gold. There's no sparkle in them or anything. But it's like a gold paint, I guess. Okay, Larry, we're gonna see if you remember how this works. I'm assuming you will because you're very smart. Okay. Yeah, I figured you would. Yeah, you picked one, good boy. Thank you. Okay, let's see what you picked. This one here. Okay, it looks like it's gonna be, oh, a cute cat. We did a loaf cat yesterday, and we're gonna do a cute cat today. And the tutorial is by Crafter Frog. You excited for that? You're like, I don't care. I just want to have a snooze. Okay, I want you to pick one yarn that we're going to make the cat with. Can you pick one? That one? Okay. Thank you. Good job. We're going to be using Bernat Blanket Speckle. I think that's what it is. And it's a color newspaper, I believe. Again, here is the screenshot of the tutorial I just completed. And I will say, I am not a fan of that pattern whatsoever because you had to make all of the pieces separately. And for something this small, that is not fun. So I can understand why people like the no-sew patterns because that loaf cat yesterday, super duper easy. This could have been so much easier. So basically you had to make the 2 ears separate, then the tail, and then she wanted you to make the legs separate too, and I was like, oh hell no. So I made one, and this is how it ends up turning out, and I'm like, how? Stupid. So the other ones I just surface crocheted, so I surface crocheted 3 of them. But this is not even something that I could even like remotely feel okay about selling, because, you know, placing the ears, and then like there's just too many decreases, so like, you know, the stuffing is showing through, and just, I don't like this tutorial. Or this pattern, whatever. So I'm just gonna give this away to a kid that I know, or somebody, or maybe Larry can have as a dog toy, but probably not. So, well, I don't recommend that one, but then again, I'm a beginner, so maybe some other people will like it. I just think that could have been done so much easier. So what can you do? So that's number 2 out of however many I end up doing this month. Actually, you know what it looks like? It looks like the dust bunnies from the Big Comfy Couch. I'll insert a photo here, but this is what he looks like. That's what it reminds me of. It's a kids' TV show from the 90s. It was popular here in Canada. I don't know if it was in the States, but there you have it. Today is day 3 of Amigurumi, and Larry is very excited to pick the pattern. He won't sit still, unfortunately, so let's try this again. Thank you. Good boy. Okay. Let's see what we're making today. Okay, no. Today we are making a Toothless Night Fury. And the pattern is by Amigurumi on YouTube. It says part 1, so it does make me a little scared. Hopefully there's not too many parts. Okay, Larry, now you have to pick the yarn for the dragon we're going to make. Can you pick one? First one you seen? Do you want to pick a different one? Give it a try. Pick one more. Pick one. Okay, you gonna stick with that one? Okay, we'll do that one. Okay, so it's the next day, and this pattern, the toothless pattern, there was 2 parts, not so bad. Took me 4 hours in total, so I can see now why people charge so much for larger amigurumi pieces, because wow. And this is definitely a pattern that was never tested, because the comments on the YouTube video, and I'm glad I seen the comments first, I did scroll down first, they were like, if you're lost, by the way, don't be surprised, and you know, here's what it's supposed to say or what it should say. So I took that into account. So the pattern did call for like a really fine worsted weight, so like the person's like little toothless was like this big, but as you know, I use Bernat blanket yarn and it's much bigger. It turned out pretty cute. I made a lot of modifications because just one, the worsted weight yarn, whole nother world, and because of the Bernat blanket yarn being so big, I really modified it. So the head was supposed to, and I put the eyes down here because I want to see like laying down. So the head, I skipped round 7 because I wanted you to end up with like, I think like 46 stitches. So I wanted to end with 36 stitches at the widest part of the head. Otherwise, like it was turning out massive and I had to frog so many times just to get like the right bodies or like head size. So I went up to round 14 and then I added the eyes, or sorry, no, I shouldn't say that. I added the eyes around round 14. And then I stuffed it midway through round 15, like the head here. And then the legs, there was a mistake on the pattern and it should have said, I have little notes down here, and it should have said increase, but it said decrease. And I was like, wait a minute, but that was one of the comments saying FYI when you get to the legs. And then because of Bernat blanket yarn, like her pattern only called for like, I think 3 rows of the leg. So I put an extra 3 on, so like it would be okay looking. Super cute though. And then in the body, you were only supposed to go up to round 13, which is like right here at the base of his tail-ish. And then you were supposed to start decreasing. And I was like, wait a minute, his head is going to be so strange looking. So I added an extra 3 rows, and I ended up with 38 stitches at the widest part, and then I started decreasing. And then even when I did that, the head was so incredibly floppy, like it was just like, just hanging there basically. So I did 2 rounds of stitching around, and then, like honestly, like since you started the head up here and you worked your way down, you could have skipped the last like 3 rows and then the last like 3 rows of the body and sewn those together instead. Or honestly, this could have been worked in one piece, but I don't know why people don't work these in one piece. And like, I know I'm a beginner and everything, but wow, terrible. So you had to do 4 legs separately. Cool, whatever. At least the body and the tail was worked together, so I was worried about that. Then you had to do these 2 little tail fins separately, and then the wings, and then the spine, and then I surface crocheted his ears and his horns because I was like, I'm not attaching another piece, and I think it turned out pretty cute. So I do think this one is sellable. Oh, I did use safety eyes from Rebecca, and they are 16mm, and they're like a snake slit eye. I guess you'd use them on cats too, but I think it turned out pretty cute. I will figure out the name of this Bernat blanket yarn, I don't remember, and then I'll put it here for you in case you're curious. And the emerald shade here, it's pretty close to Bernat blanket malachite, but at my former workplace, it was an off shade that they just let me have, so that was nice. You can see right behind my head actually. So here's a nice color, and I like the way it turned out. So 4 hours later, and that also includes the 25 minutes I spent trying to get these safety eyes on. Killed me, terrible. But I seen somebody online had commented and said boil them for 2, like the backs of the eyes for 2 minutes, and then quickly put them on. But like even then I couldn't snap them down with my fingers, so I used one of my husband's wrenches. So there's like a, you know, like a U-shaped wrench on the one side, like an open end, for washers and hexes and whatever, and then the other side was like a closed one. The open end actually worked better because I could fit it around like the back and like the little prong and snap it down. But once I boiled the backs, it was much easier. So I'll be doing that from now on. But other than that, I think he turned out pretty cute. I like his little wings. So here's my little toothless. I know he's not really toothless, he's not green and black, but I was not going to work a pattern with black yarn this early into my little Amigurumi venture. So here he is, as Crochet by Jana would say, hug check. Okay, we're gonna pick the project for today, Larry. Can you do that for me? Pick one. Thank you. Good boy. Thank you, good boy. Okay, so Larry has picked the Easy Crochet Bat by Rose and Lily Crochet. Okay, Larry, now it's time to pick a yarn for the bat. Can you please pick one? Pick a yarn. Which one do you pick? Pick one. Take it. Pick one. Okay, the mint. All right. Thank you. Good boy. And that is how you do a video tutorial. Rose and Lily Crochet, this is probably my favorite tutorial so far. I do like the loaf cat one, the first one we did. That was really nice. But this one was done really well. She talked throughout the video, which I'm finding that I really do appreciate. Usually I put it on pause and then, you know, just skip next to, but then having the like audio explanation is really nice. A lot of them, I guess 2 of them so far haven't had that. So I really appreciated that. And she, you know, gave tips and stuff as to like when you're, you know, sewing things in or crocheting things on or stitching them in. And she did like the face really slow, which is nice. And so you can see like where to put the yarn next with the little fang on the bat. So super cute. I didn't really have to modify this one a whole lot. I did skip 1 row on the neck because I wanted to get it down to 12, but I knew that'd be too floppy. So I got them down to 16 and then did a single, like a row of 16. And then on the body there, you started with the 16 and then you know, bumped it up to like 24, etc. So not a lot of modification on the head and the body. I don't think anything on the body, just that 1 row there. I did do an extra row on the ears because I thought the ears were too short because how fluffy this Bernat blanket yarn is. So I did an extra row on each ear. I thought about doing it only on one so you'd have it uneven ears, but I did extra on both. And yeah, the wings, I did skip 1 row at the very end because I thought it'd be just too big. And then these knobs or nodules, whatever, on the wings there were supposed to only be like double crochet increase, but I did triple crochet, again, because of how fluffy the yarn is. It's size 16 millimeter safety eyes, super cute, also from Chateau Bornay, one of Rebecca's, super cute. I really like the way it turned out. This is probably my favorite so far. I love the loaf cat, but I love this guy. He's so cute, and just his cheeky little fang is adorable to me. Every time I make one of these, Larry's like, is that a new toy for me? So he's down here on the floor looking at me like, you gonna throw it? Sorry, no, it's not for Larry. But I thought it turned out super cute, and the assembly was like really easy. All you had to do was stitch on the ears because you made the head and the body all in one, which is so nice. And then you had to stitch on the wings, but it's actually pretty easy because she, you know, I used a safety pin to get the top of the wing here to the head a little bit, so he would like stay. And then same thing with down here, put a safety pin at the base of his wings to his bum. And then like you just basically stitch around the wing to the body, and yeah, that's it. Like it was super fast. I think it took me only 2 hours compared to, you know, the 4 from yesterday and that dragon. But either way, I think it turned out super cute. I'm very proud of it. This might be one that I keep, or I'll make another one different color. I don't know, but I think he's super cute. He's definitely my favorite so far. So thanks to Rose and Lily Crochet for the great tutorial. I will link her channel down below. I'm not going to link right to the video because you might as well look at her channel and see what other tutorials she has. Something I forgot to mention about this tutorial that I really like, and I hope there are other tutorials that I watch do this. She showed you or told you exactly where to put the eyes between 9 and 10, for example, and the ears start the tip, like 2nd row down. That was really appreciated by me because sometimes you take a guess and it turns out wonky, and that's why I don't like sewing on all these things. But this one turned out really great for that reason. Okay, you can pick another project for me, please, sir. Please pick one. Oh, you gotta pick one. Can you get one out of there? Okay, pick one. Have one? Okay, good boy. Thank you. Good job. Okay, let's see what you picked. You picked Easy Crochet Turtle. Oh, yay, by Rose and Lily Crochet. So, I know it's going to be a great tutorial. Okay, sir. I want you to pick the body of the turtle. Can you pick one of the yarns? Can you pick one? I know you're distracted right now. There's traffic. Can you pick yarn? You want that one? Okay, thank you. So that will determine that we have to use Bernat blanket for the shell as well. Okay, Larry, for the shell of the turtle, what are we gonna use? Pick one. Pick a yarn. Pick one. Can you inspect them all and not pick the first one you see? That's cheating, you can't do that. Okay, you pick one? See if you pick the same one, let's see. Pick one. Okay, you like that one, so we're gonna go with the purple. Sounds good. Once again, Rose and Lily Crochet really knocked it out of the park. Over the ocean. It's so cute. I really like this pattern. I don't like how long it took. It took me probably 6 hours yesterday, but you know, I was doing other things in between and cooking supper and all that fun stuff. So super cute though. I love the tail. Like, it's just so cute. I didn't like all the assembly. If you've made this turtle before, or any turtle, I'm assuming it's the same way. That being said, if you know of a turtle that's like low sew or no sew, please link it below in the comments, or you know, send it to me or whatever, because I love turtles. They're like probably one of my favorite mammals, animals, creatures, and just so cute. So I don't think I did any modifications to this at all. Of course, she told you where to put the eyes, which I so appreciate. I don't think I did any modifications. I guess the only modification I really would have done would be the tail. You're supposed to like tuck it into like the chain space that we did on the body and sew it in, but it was really hard to see because it's the same color, obviously. So I kind of just surface crocheted it on instead of tucking it in and then going on from the inside and sewing it in, and it turned out fine. So super cute though. I was always curious how people made the fins, but it's just a circle and you fold it in half and stitch around the side, and it's so cute. I was supposed to sew the fins on with the row of single crochet facing up, but I messed one up, so I wasn't going to do it with the other, and I couldn't really take it off because the yarn was so hard to see against the same color. That being said, it is the old Bernat formula yarn, so it was very hard on my wrist, and it dragged a lot, especially like when sewing pieces in, so that was definitely a hindrance in time. But would I make this again? Yes, because it's so cute. My husband had to go to work for a bit yesterday. He came home and I was like, look what I made, and he's like, you should keep that for yourself because you love turtles. I was like, yeah, or I can make a different one, I don't know, but it's so cute. I'm curious to know if anybody else knows the other tutorials for turtles. It's hard to say, tutorials for turtles. Do you have to do the body and then like the chain 2 space and tuck the fins in? Like, is that common on all tutorials for turtles? Because that was kind of annoying. I'd rather just kind of stitch them on or work them into the body during the crocheting. I don't know, but I had a really hard time with these safety eyes because of the old Bernat formula being so thick and squishy. The prongs weren't long enough, and then even when I boiled the back of safety eyes, they kept popping off. So what I ended up doing, and I'll put a photo here, I had heard about this online. Basically you take a lighter and you melt the black plastic prong onto like the back, and they're really secure now. So I'll put a picture here of that. You have to be really careful not to burn the yarn. Obviously I failed on that, but it wasn't bad at all, so And it was so early into it because I think I did the head first. Did I do the head first? Yeah, I did the head first. And then safety eyes went on between rows 4 and 5. So I put them on, I think, when I got like past round 7. And he's gonna join my bed up here for a bit. So I would say this is probably like a mid-size because of the burnout blanket being larger. I'm sure you could make these smaller, but I think it would be really tough, especially with burnout blanket because of how thick it is. Oh, I keep forgetting to say what size hooks I'm using on all of these. So I'll put it on the screen for most, like the others that I have done, but this one was done with a size 6mm. Thank you so much for watching week 1 of this Amigurumi challenge as a beginner. As you can see, Larry is back from daycare. He is wearing a surgical onesie because he decided to not listen to another dog's warning at daycare and learned the hard way, unfortunately. So he had 6 stitches put in his side, just by his shoulder over here. And maybe next time he will listen to the other dogs. So he's doing much better today. It happened yesterday, right? On Monday. Today's Tuesday. He's doing much better today. As I said, he was pretty dopey last night because I had to sedate him for the stitches. And then today he's back to his normal self. So we'll probably spend the day on the couch cuddling and crocheting. He still hasn't learned to crochet. He can't hold the hook very well. But he does bring me my yarn when I ask him to. If I drop something off the couch and I'm already reclined and like comfy, I'm like, could you grab that? And he will get it for me, which is really nice. I had my last guy trained to do the same thing. It worked out great. Next week, you'll be able to see my new office. I rearranged everything, and that was my plan. I ordered a new desk and everything, a sit-stand desk, and some of those, like, they call it pegboards. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna put some more cubes on my cube shelf rack thing. And yeah, we will do that next week as well. Once I get everything set up, that is my plan for the next few days. So thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you. Please remember that you are strong, you are beautiful, you are loved, and the world appreciates having you here.